my name is Dennison from WiredUP, and today we're going to talk about the Town of Islip Town Hall West Annex Theater. The Annex Theater began its renovations back in July of 2018, which is when they first contacted an AV company to come in here, spec out the room, design the systems, and integrate everything. The products were ordered and placed in the theater and sat here until just recently, where we had the opportunity to come in and install the products and make a few changes. In January of 2024, WiredUP was called in to assist with installing some AV products, including a brand new state-of-the-art QSC sound system, stage lighting, and a way to control all of that. When WiredUP was first called into the space, the directors of the program had stated that they wanted to add stage lighting to their pre-existing designed AV system. And when we came in, we spec'd out a system that they were really happy with and gave them a few options price-wise. When speccing out the stage lighting system, it was determined that for users in the building, such as meetings, press releases, emergencies, and so on, they wanted the systems to be able to be controlled easily with the push of a button. So WiredUP used a Springtree media control device known as the SS8 and the SM8 for 8 user-controllable buttons that are mounted on the walls throughout the room. When we first spoke to the customer about them using the space for outside customers as well, we told them that outside customers will likely want a more robust professional sound system. WiredUP engineers decided to install the QSC LA series line arrays, a new product from QSC featuring state-of-the-art computer technology on board in the speaker to mitigate the use of external processing. In addition to that, 4 QSC KS112 subwoofers were placed on the floor in front of the stage for low-end reinforcement. The on-stage lighting system consists of 10 Elation 6-par 300s, and on the front of house truss behind me, we can see that there's 4 Elation Color 5 profiles. The reason behind this lighting design was for a more modern approach, as well as keeping everything LED as part of a federal grant funding application. Also integrated into the space was a complete Crestron connected control system integrated by AdWire Video, which features HDMI ports around the room as well as aux inputs for using the sound system standalone from the video system. Thanks to the simplicity of the Crestron connected system, users can come in, push a button on a screen, and it'll bring down the projector screen, turn on the projector, and set all the sources to the correct input, wherever that may be in the space. As stated previously, the customer wanted outside renters to be able to come in and plug into the space and make it their own. But at the same time, this is a government building and it needs to prioritize the use of the government in the event of an emergency press release or for their meetings. When WiredUP first came into the space, there were beautiful chandeliers hanging from the ceiling. And when we spoke with the customer, it was discussed that we wanted to keep these chandeliers and integrate them with a lighting control system. From the beginning, WiredUP designers knew that we wanted to integrate a dimmer rack into the design to keep these chandeliers in operation with a new modern DMX data controlled system. But things don't always go to plan, and WiredUP designers came in a few weeks later and the chandeliers were gone. When WiredUP revisited the topic with the customer, we were told that due to unforeseen circumstances, the lights would have had to be replaced with what you see here, which are 0 to 10 volt dimmable LED panel lights. The problem with that is you can't dim 0 to 10 volt lights via line voltage, which is exactly what was spec'd out when we designed the chandeliers to work with our DMX system. So back to the drawing board for the house lighting system, and luckily there's a really great brand out there known as Doug Fleenor Designs. And Doug had what we needed. Using Doug Fleenor Designs' DMX 512 ANL converter, we were able to convert DMX data into 0 to 10 volt analog dimming into 5 zones of house lights, which is exactly what we needed here. However, there's a little bit of a trick that we had to utilize with this system due to how the 0 to 10 volt lights work. The Doug Fleenor Designs product had a little bit of an oddity when it came to turning the house lights off. See, at 0 volts, it was still glowing the house lights at about 10% of their brightness. So while a bit weird, when clicking off on our DMX controller, it's actually outputting out of channel 5 of the Doug Fleenor Designs product to get the house lights to turn off at negative voltage. According to Doug Fleenor Designs, this is a completely normal occurrence, and they've seen this done multiple times. and is completely within code. We only faced this issue because we didn't want to find a way to interrupt line voltage to the house lights. We wanted it to be completely contained to the low voltage side of things, since we're working with an electrical contractor who handles all the high voltage. Under the hood of the sound system is the Crestron Series 3 digital signal processor, which outputs to our 2 main arrays and our 2 substacks on either side of the stage, as well as some fill speakers designed by WiredUP throughout the space for better overall coverage. Also integrated by WiredUP were TVs around the room and some TVs up here on the trussing so that presenters on stage can see, and there's PTZ cameras around the room that will be also shown on these TV screens for better viewing throughout the room. WiredUP also integrated a 5-pin DMX input with a take control button, so that way outside companies could come in and plug in their lighting console and leave all of the lighting control devices in the space already untouched. And the upside to that is if our customer comes back into their space and wants to take control of the lights, they don't have to touch anything that they're not familiar with. All they do is push the take control button and then they have full power again. WiredUP also added 2 XLR ports on the front of the stage for someone to come in and plug in a sound console from their main left and right out, which goes right through the DSP up to the sound system untouched. So anybody can come in here and plug in their sound console. Overall, when speaking with the customer, they seem to be really happy with the AV side of things and all in all how the space came out. Things are really getting buttoned up here. The seats are in, the paint is done, and the handicap accessible doors are finally on. That's when you know things are just about to finish up. I just want to thank you for watching. My name has been Dennison. This has been Wired Up. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all that really cool stuff. Check us out on Instagram. We'll be posting plenty of pictures about this space and more. We hope to see you again real soon.